In this episode, wow, sit down, strap in, and strap on because we are about to make a mess. Guys, we're going to be talking about the HVS index, which is showing Bitcoin is absolutely identical to 2016. And no doubt you've heard about this extremely bullish Kraken news. However, there's some other really important news that we want to share with you. And as well as Bitcoin actually forming some hourly bullish divergence on these charts. We're going to be delving into that. And guys, specifically, we're going to be taking a look at this weekly chart to just show you how critical these levels are and how close I believe we are to really entering a very explosive bull run. Guys, let's be honest, the last few months have been exciting, specifically though for altcoins, but if we're being completely honest, Bitcoin has not been super exciting the past few months, but I'm going to show you why I think that is going to change in the near future. Wow, welcome back to the channel, men, women, trans men, children, trans children, and other babies. Guys, we have a lot to be delving into in this webisode with Bitcoin. Some very fundamental news happening in the cryptocurrency space. This is absolutely a dream come true. If you've been in the space for a few years, guys, fast forward to 2020, we take everything day by day. So really, it's not super exciting when you're constantly following along with it day by day. But if we really look back, this space has absolutely transformed into something completely what we had always hoped it would be. And one of the biggest things left is a reaction in the markets, basically a massive pump to mirror fundamentally how much cryptocurrency has grown in just the last few years, and we're getting that now. And as well, guys, we're going to be talking about specifically Bitcoin on the shorter time frame and then also on these longer time frames. Whereas, guys, I know we've been saying it, and basically everybody has been saying, bull run incoming, but we're going to be taking a look at these charts and I'll show you something very, very interesting here. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can get updated when we upload new videos. And as well, guys, drop your comment below and maybe include if you are picking up your free Uni tokens on Uniswap today. Have you used Uniswap prior to today? And have you already, or are you in the process of collecting your free unis? And guys, if we can hit 1,300 likes in this webisode, we will be giving away this ledger in the next webisode. The last person still didn't contact me, so I think that's like 2 winners in the last month that have not contacted me. And let's hippity hop into these charts, guys. So if we start off on this weekly chart, this is what I want to start off with, just to give you a very nice frame of reference here for Bitcoin and why we're bullish. So what I pulled out today is the VPVR, guys, and as you can see, the trading volume absolutely dissolves above 12,000 US dollars, right? Basically, you can see right here in the VPVR, the trading volume for Bitcoin disappears. Now, we have included all the way back to basically the middle of 2017 in this VPVR data, but you can see by this dotted line that above 12K, the volume disappears. And again, that was the very last place we got rejected. If we zoom in, you can see basically, even though we had a few daily candles, guys, that's why it's important to zoom out, because even technically we broke above 12.3 and 12.4. We never actually had a good grasp on that, right? We never had a good grip on 12K. We basically just got rejected over those few weeks. And that's why the macro time frame is so important, because if we break $12,000 on a daily chart, a lot of people start claiming like, wow, we broke 12K, it's cemented, this is support now. And that's just not necessarily true, right? You want to see that actually happen on these longer time frames and maintain it week after week after week, which we failed to do. Same exact thing happened here back in the summer of last year, right? 12K was basically the exact same level we got rejected, even though we came all the way up to 14,000, we never actually had those levels, right? And you can say the same thing about this. Even though we came all the way up to like 19, 20,000 US dollars per Bitcoin, that was never really like a trading area for Bitcoin. I mean, that's technically the all-time high, but in terms of like trading volume, that was never really the all-time high. And that's why we're saying if we break 13 and 14K, then we'll be off to new all-time highs, even though technically 13 and 14,000 are not the all-time highs for Bitcoin. So all of that to say basically is that we just got rejected off of the last significant area for Bitcoin, but so far, this is our 3rd week that we've been bouncing here on this 21-week moving average, and it's absolutely key, guys. The reason, again, why I have this VPVR pulled out is just so you can see all of the traded volume, all of the support, all of the acting support that is below us. We have so much of it, and guys, we can trace above us, you barely see anything, right? Because we're literally testing the upper limits of this, and we have everything included of the last 3 years, right? Over 3 years. So Clearly, Bitcoin is on the brink of something big. And again, that's why if you're not bullish mid to long term, then I think you're just I think it's a big mistake not to be bullish mid and long term. Guys, and if we switch to this chart, you can see we didn't actually come up to that $11,300 level just yet. We actually came all the way up, I think exactly to like, on this chart, it's 11111.1, so 11,111.1 on this Bitfinex chart is about where we got rejected right here. And again, short term, nothing to really worry about here. You can actually see this was the 4-hour chart. On the 1-hour chart, we still have some, I believe it's hidden bullish divergence. Yeah, so we have hidden bullish divergence with higher lows here, here, and here, and the lower lows trending on the RSI, you can see down here. Now, these hourly divergences have been fairly accurate over the past few weeks, so I am expecting, we could see another move up here, but we do also see that there is a downturn here on the 21 going into the 50 on this 1-hour chart here, moving average. So we got to keep that in mind as well, guys. We have the SPX absolutely opening very bearishly actually today, and we talked about this yesterday about testing this 50-day moving average. And first time I looked at it today, we were already on the 50-day moving average. So again, if this thing flips bearish, guys, then we might have to consider the possibility Bitcoin is also going to head onto a downtrend. And again, we still have a few more weeks, in my opinion, where I think it would still be okay where we would if we still did come down. So again, I'm not super worried right now. But again, we need to watch the SPX, because if this bad boy continues to plummet, then obviously Bitcoin and most other currencies, a lot of other things will follow it, right? Now, I want to take a look at Ethereum here, because again, we had that cross, but Ethereum's actually trying to get back above the 21-day moving average here. And a lot of you have been asking me about Chainlink. A lot of you commented yesterday about it, even though I did cover Chainlink yesterday. We just got that bearish cross today with the 21 going below the 50 here, and Chainlink did break our support, which we were talking about. So again, we're still eyeing up that about $9 area retrace for Chainlink in the short term, right? I think we could see that fairly soon. So I think Chainlink actually could be on the downturn here. Wow, and as well, guys, for everybody using Uniswap, make sure to head over to Uniswap today, because you can claim some free Uni tokens, guys. Absolutely huge. Today is the first day. You just go claim your tokens. You basically just head over there and it'll have a pop-up. You click it and you can get it deposited. Who doesn't love free money? They're actually valued at around, I think, like $3 right now, and you get a few hundred of them at least, I believe. So yeah, very interesting. Make sure to claim your free tokens. And as well, guys, Femex actually announced today there's 7 new perpetual contract trading pairs. So we have Cardano, Algo, Comp, Dot, Lend, YFI, BCH, all in the USD pairing, okay, and which can be leveraged up to 20x. So if you're interested in that, make sure to use our link below where you can sign up, get some very nice bonuses, and you can trade all of these new trading pairs as well. And guys, this is the holder versus speculator index chart, and what's really interesting about this is that the speculators are actually at all-time lows, which is actually very interesting, actually below 20%, approaching about like 17% here. And holders are actually the highest they've been since, let's take a look at this, since back in 2017. Now, what is interesting about this is that when we've seen this in the past, when speculators get at their absolute lowest and holders are at their absolute highest, last time we saw that was in the middle of 2015, or right around 2016 even, and that was pretty much the beginning of the bull market. And that's extremely interesting because, guys, many people, including myself, believe that we are actually at the very, very front, or the very beginning of this bull market. And this is just more on-chain data that actually supports that hypothesis, right? That we're actually at a similar period of this. So, for example, in 2014, we peaked, we went on a downtrend for a few years, entered a bear market, and then we curved up and had a massive rally where Bitcoin hit 20,000 US dollars. Ethereum absolutely exploded, altcoins exploded, the ICO craze, everything like that. And basically what this chart is showing is that it looks as though we're at a point right about here, which again, you can see that's basically the bottom of the market before we started going all the way up. So my point is, if we actually take a look at this, is that exactly what we're seeing, where we can show you on this chart? Let's actually compare that to here. So let's say we're like right around here of this market. Basically, are we about to do this? And overall, over the long term, that is exactly obviously what I think is going to happen. And most of you also kind of completely agree that obviously we're about to start a massive bull market. But again, that's just another fundamental on-chain data analytic that shows us that, wow, actually it looks as though, based on the speculators and the holders on the on-chain data, that actually is true and that is confirmed. Whatever happens to Bitcoin's price, whatever happens to altcoins over the next 2 months, it isn't that important, because we need to zoom out and just understand exactly where we are in terms of this cycle. Is it possible that the global markets crash and everything goes to heck for a little bit? Absolutely, guys. So many unexpected things happen, as we saw back in March, right? Nobody knows for sure, but based on all the data we have now, the most promising and the most likely thing that we're going to see is cryptocurrencies explode. And that leads me into my next point here, which again, crypto's bank, right? Kraken Financial is huge. I'm sure you guys heard about that. Kraken becoming the first cryptocurrency bank, basically, right? Now, this is huge, but there's also some other really interesting information. So, new investors are entering Bitcoin at a faster pace and possibly creating upward pressure on prices. More on-chain data actually shows, right? The number of young investment wallets, basically how you classify that are those that are 1 to 3 months old and rarely send Bitcoin, has jumped to over 2 million just this month, which is the highest level since February of 2018 based on analytics from the firm Chainalysis. That is double the 1.1 million that we saw 6 months ago. It looks like new people are entering the market, buying Bitcoin and putting it in wallets for long-term investment, guys. And I think that that is exactly what is happening, because people realize that you got to store your wealth somewhere. And what are people going to do? Are they going to put it into a savings account and earn 0.0001% annually or something negligible that has basically no impact on your finances? Are you going to keep it in USD? Are you going to invest in stocks? Even though, again, as we said, it looks like the stock market may be topping out, and it looks like maybe over the next year or two, things might not be very bullish for stock markets, right? Or are you going to invest in cryptocurrency, which, I mean, obviously myself and probably everyone watching are pretty biased towards crypto, right? We all are invested in it, and we definitely think that is where investment in the future is heading, right? But it says investors took advantage of the 40% price drop to levels below 4,000 in March and have continued to pour money into the top cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, ever since then. So again, more fundamental data, more fundamental analytics. Pretty much, I mean, let's be honest, guys. Looking back over the past few years, this is the most bullish fundamentally I've ever seen cryptocurrency by far. Kraken is a crypto bank. New investors are absolutely piling into Bitcoin, billions of dollars being invested into crypto. We have top hedge fund managers consistently talking positively and saying they have portions of their assets invested into crypto. Fundamentally, things could not be more bullish, right? And again, I don't think we're going to break from that trend. I think that's going to continue. So while we can get hung up on the price being boring over the last few months for the most part, particularly Bitcoin, as again, anything basically below $15,000, people basically consider that boring because again, we're not really approaching all-time highs until we break 14 and 15,000, right, and head up to 20,000. So for the most part, fundamentally, insanely bullish. And when we look at these technicals, like this chart, guys, where we just showed you basically all of the resistance we've broken through and how little of it we have above us, technically we're extremely bullish too. Just because we might be going down over the next week or something like that doesn't change that. Okay, people cannot get hung up on that. Huge. So guys, make sure to leave your comment below and we can hit 1,300, I believe is what I said, and we'll give away this ledger in the next episode. And guys, if you're interested in trading, make sure to use the links below if you want to support the channel and only if you have experience trading. And make sure to include in your comment how bullish you are on this announcement. I mean, really, anybody that would tell me that Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is not fundamentally bullish right now, I just would not really give any second thought to, right? I just completely would dismiss that. I just think it's ridiculous not to think Bitcoin is fundamentally bullish right now. You can make an argument for technicals in the next month or so, right? You could easily make an argument that Bitcoin might be bearish over the next month. But long term for Bitcoin, there is no argument to be made, technically or fundamentally, that we should be bearish.